after having had some information last year, some inside info on what was going on there, what is your feeling about where they stand right now?
My feeling is that I think that Aaron Rodgers has played his last game as a Green Bay Packer. And the weird part about it is, I think the Packers are okay with that. I really believe that. I mean, Andrew Brandt is a friend of mine who, of course, worked for the Packers organization for many years, and he's been saying this forever. The idea was to have Aaron Rodgers play 2 more years and then move Jordan Love in. And it certainly seems like that's the way things are headed. My only question to the Packers is, really, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? Like, it's worked once from Favre to Rodgers, but the idea that the Packers only made it to 1 Super Bowl if he's played his last game, and I'm including Aaron Rodgers in the statement when I say this, it is an organizational failure of the highest magnitude with a guy who is Mount Rushmore type level quarterback.
Yeah.
First ballot, surefire Hall of Famer. You could argue top 5 all time. And you guys made it to 1 Super Bowl. That's a failure. I mean, you made it to 2 with Favre, who was throwing interceptions left and right. I mean, like, you lost an NFC championship or divisional round playoff game against the Rams because he threw 6 interceptions in 1 game.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's supposed to be so risk averse and all that kind of stuff. But if he has played his last game, everyone in that organization, including Aaron, because he hasn't played well in a lot of those playoff games, has to say, how did we mess this up? Because you had a generational quarterback since 2008, and you got there once as a wild card.
The team has said we want him back. The president, Mark Murphy, recently said we want him back, and that the organization is aligned on that. But there is also a difference between saying we want him back and we want him back at a cost. There is always a cost associated with those comments.
Right. Well, it's like when someone says, no, he's our guy. It's easy to say that in May. It's
Right.
harder to say that in October. Right. Like when all these, when Trey Lance was drafted and the Niners moved up all those picks to get him, Jimmy G's our guy. For now.
Yeah.
Like there's always a hanging participle on those sentences, right? You say that now because it's in your best interest.
Right.
That doesn't mean it might change. Listen, I think they'd be crazy to try not to make it work, but I don't know if they can make it work.
If he says, okay, this is not working out, I think everyone would feel better if we moved on. And I was frankly shocked how fast fans after the loss were just sort of like, at a certain point, what are we supposed to do? Because they feel like you do, that they should have won more in all this time.
Correct.
So let's say Green Bay says, okay, we'll move you. What makes sense for each side? Is there a move that does make sense for each side?
Well, obviously, a lot of people will look at the Denver hire of Nathaniel Hackett. But if you're Aaron Rodgers, I mean, and everyone's a competitor. Do you really want to go to a division where Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes are there, and Derek Carr's playing pretty damn well? I mean, like, if he does go to Denver, that's automatically the best quarterback division by a mile.
Yeah,
and
one of the best we'd ever had.
Yes, and I don't think it's going to be that easy for him. Now, granted, Denver has a good defense and they have some weapons. They're going to have to give up some of that if they're getting Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know. Like, suddenly Tampa Bay is interesting.
Yeah,
right. That's interesting. New Orleans might be interesting. I think suddenly there are a lot more.
Don't say that too loud. Ross Jackson might hear you, host of Locked On Saints.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later. So there's all kinds of possibilities. But so the Denver thing, I think people are trying to put 2 and 2 together, but sometimes that doesn't make 4; it makes 5 or 6. So if I were Aaron, I'd maybe think about looking at some of those other scenarios.
The other domino there is Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So what I've been saying is, there's the easy line to draw. Okay, well, Denver could just trade for both of them. I think there's just too much. We've never even seen a deal like that.
Yeah,
that's Madden
yes,
stuff. Yes,
and we'll take all the cheese.
Yeah.
And and all the
beer at the Miller Lite production
all the spotted
factory.
Cow. We'll take all of that. Yeah.
I don't think that makes a lot of sense. But a team like Las Vegas, reunite him with Derek Carr. That could make some sense there too. Is there a move out there that maybe we're not putting enough attention on? Because to me, it's Russell Wilson, but we didn't even know this time last year that Aaron Rodgers could be out there.
Think about it. Like what you just said is really interesting, right? We all know how important the quarterback play is in the NFL. If you don't have a dude, you don't have a chance. Like the Titans Bengals game. Ryan Tannehill's a guy, Burrow's a dude.
Yeah.
We could have Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and Deshaun Watson for a variety of different reasons all change teams this offseason. Might be the wildest quarterback offseason we've ever had.
And Kirk Cousins is just like, why not me?
Exactly. Well, I have a variety of reasons.